Have you ever faced a moment where you had to choose between what's easy and what's right? A moment where your own safety was on the line, but your conscience screamed at you to act? Today, let's journey back thousands of years to ancient Egypt and meet two women who faced exactly that dilemma. Their names were Shiphrah and Puah, and their story is one of extraordinary courage. At the time, the Hebrew people were living as slaves in Egypt, and their population was growing rapidly. This made the Pharaoh nervous. He saw their numbers as a threat to his power. So he devised a cruel and heartless plan. He summoned the lead Hebrew midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, and gave them a terrifying order. When you help the Hebrew women give birth, if it's a boy, you must kill him. Only the girls may live. Can you imagine the weight of that command? These women, whose entire profession was dedicated to bringing new life into the world, were being ordered to become instruments of death. Their own lives were at risk. Defying a pharaoh was a death sentence. It would have been so easy to obey, to save their own skin. But Shiphrah and Puah made a different choice. The scripture tells us they feared God. This wasn't just a simple fear. It was a deep reverence for life and a moral compass that pointed true north, regardless of the consequences. So, what did they do? They quietly and bravely defied the king's decree. When the baby boys were born, healthy and strong, Shiphrah and Puah let them live. When the pharaoh confronted them, asking why the boys were surviving, they came up with a clever excuse. "The Hebrew women are so vigorous," they said. "They give birth before we can even get there." It was a risky lie, but it bought them time, and, more importantly, it saved lives. This story isn't just an ancient tale. It's a powerful lesson for us today. It teaches us about civil disobedience in the face of injustice and the immense power of individual courage. Shiphrah and Puah weren't queens or warriors, they were midwives. But their quiet, determined defiance had a monumental impact, even saving the life of a baby who would one day be named Moses. Their story reminds us that you do not need a title or a high position to make a difference. True strength lies in our moral convictions and our willingness to stand up for what is right, even when we're afraid. It's about choosing compassion over cruelty and life over destruction. Shiphrah and Puah show us that sometimes the most heroic acts are the ones no one sees, performed by ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things.